And that was VAL. Hey YouTube, Gallagher123123 back with another video for you all. And in this one, I'm excited to give you a first look at what is, I believe, the ultimate clock app for iOS and macOS. This is an app called VAL, which stands for Voice, Alarm, and Chimes, and this was developed by my friend Quinton. And you're probably wondering, well, what is this? Well, like I said, I think this is the ultimate clock app. So if you've used other apps on iOS especially, you may have found that some are very customizable, but have, let's just say, not great audio quality. And others may have the great audio quality, but no customization. Well, this app really fixes all of that. The really neat thing about VAL is that it is compatible with all of the clock packs that were available or are available for Steve's Talking Clock on Windows. So if you're familiar with that classic program and have something there that you like, or you've made something that's compatible with that, well, you can bring it into VAL and use it on your iPhone and Mac. And the other thing that's compatible with, among others, is if you've purchased my new Mac app ChimeKeeper recently, VAL is also compatible with those sound packs as well. So I've gotten several requests since ChimeKeeper came out saying, are you going to bring ChimeKeeper to iOS? And my answer to that has always been, no, I don't think so. And now, well, if you want to use those packs on iOS, you can with VAL. So that is a bit of an intro to VAL, and we'll give you an idea of what it's capable of. There's more to it than that, though, including alarms and advanced scheduling options. So before we get into a demo of this, I'll just say VAL is currently available for pre-order. It will be out on Monday. But right now, if you pre-order it, you can get it for $3.99 in the App Store. There'll be a link to it in the description. And once the pre-orders are up, it will increase to $6.99. So if you want to get access to this, lock it in at $3.99. Now's the time to do it. Also, stay tuned because later in the video, I will tell you about an exciting opportunity where 3 lucky winners could win a free copy of VAL. You don't want to miss that. Alright, so I think enough talking about VAL. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. And to do that, we're going to jump into a screen share, and I will take you on a tour of the app. Okay, so I've just installed a fresh copy of VAL here onto this iPhone 12, and we start out with a very helpful onboarding. This is here to kind of give you an overview of what the app does and allows you to set some preferences. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll walk through this. So let's flick right and see what we have.
Would you like a quick overview before you start?
So it's asking
If
if
you
we'd like
continue,
this
permission prompts
overview.
wait until onboarding is finished. Show overview button.
And so we can show the overview or not now. In this case, let's see the overview. I'll continue.
Welcome, heading. Welcome. Announce the time, set alarms, use custom schedules with their own clocks, and more. This walkthrough will show you the basics so you can get started quickly and know where the important settings live. Continue button. Welcome, heading, voiceover tip. You'll find that magic tap, 2-finger double tap is used widely throughout the app. If you're new to the app, consider temporarily turning on voiceover hints while you get familiar with it. They'll help you discover what each control does and where magic tap is available. Continue button. Welcome, heading, choose your clock.
Now we get to the fun stuff. Choose your clock.
Choose the clock you'd like to use for announcements. You can change this later in settings.
So it tells us here that we can choose a clock now, and we can change this in settings. Now, the really cool part is VAL comes bundled with options to get us started. So let's go ahead and see what we have.
Bundled, method 12, traditional chime, pre-edited, button. Double tap to select. 2-finger double tap to preview.
The first one we have is called Ingram Gingerbread, and this is a striking clock. So if I do a magic tap here, as the voiceover hint indicated, There it is. We heard the Ingram gingerbread. So this is a strike clock that's available
Westminster
to
Colonial
us.
bundled method 11 traditional chime.
Okay, next we have a Westminster Colonial. This is actually a tubular grandfather clock. Let's hear a little bit of this one. Again, we'll magic tap. And I'll just stop that.
Westminster Colonial extended bundled method 11 traditional chime and loud.
We do have another copy of the Colonial here, but the
Westminster
first
Colonial
one
bundled method 11 traditional.
is the one that's kind of recommended
Westminster
on
Colonial extended
iOS.
bundled method 11 traditional chime analyzed increased resonance but uses more notification slots button.
And that's because it will use more notification slots so that the whole chime can be played.
Michael's Sly Mantle bundled method 11 traditional chime analyzed button. Double tap to
We
select.
also have a couple that are based on a Sly mantle clock. So if I go ahead and magic tap on this,
Whittington
that's a
Sly Mantle
preview of that
bundled
one.
method 11 traditional chime analyzed button. Double tap to select. 2-finger double tap to preview. Westminster Hamilton Mantle bundled method 11 traditional chime analyzed button. Double tap to
And we have
select.
two more
2-finger double tap to preview.
Westminsters. We have this Westminster Hamilton mantle. This one I think a lot of you are going to like. So there's a taste of that one. And then
Westminster Sly
finally
Mantle
we
bundled
have
method 11
the Sly mantle for this one. And finally,
female bundled.
We have two talking options built in. We have announcement
Announcement
female
male bundled.
and
Method 4 really huge button.
the male and
2-finger double
female.
tap to preview.
Let's go ahead and hear these. I'll magic tap.
10:02 p.m.
Announcement
the
male
female.
bundled. Method 4 really huge button.
10:02 p.m.
There we go. Those are the two bundled talking options. Now, you're not limited to this collection here. So you're not limited to these 8. You can add your own, and we'll take a look at that a little bit later. All right, so let's make a choice here. I'm going to select
Westminster Sly announcement female bundled. Announcement male bundled. Method 4 really huge button. Double tap to select. 2-finger double tap to preview.
announcement male.
10:03 p.m.
Announcement male bundled. Selected. Announcement male bundled. Method 4 really huge.
Okay, and I've gone ahead and made
Continue
that choice. And let's continue.
Welcome. Heading. Choose your interval. Choose how often you'd like to hear announcements. You can change this later in settings.
And now we're going to pick our interval, or how often do we want to hear
Every hour.
this
Pick
talk.
a item. Adjustable. 3 of 3. Swipe up or
So
down
we can
one
have
finger
it
to
do
adjust the
every
value.
hour,
Every 30 minutes. 2 of 3.
every
50
30,
minutes, 1 of 3. Every 30 minutes.
every
2 of
15.
3. Continue.
every
button.
30 sounds good. And we'll continue.
Welcome. Heading. Notification permission.
And now we're getting to the standard stuff. We have notification permission. And of course, we need to allow this so the app can play the
Announcements
correct
depend on notification
announcements.
permission. You'll be asked for access when you tap continue. For the most seamless experience, open settings greater than notification center greater than VAL and turn off everything except sounds. Continue button. Alert. VAL would like to send you notifications. Notifications let scheduled announcements play at your chosen intervals. Don't allow, but allow, button. VAL, continue, button. Alert. Allow VAL to schedule alarms and timers.
Oops, okay, so I skipped, my bad, the introduction to alarms,
This will allow the app to don't allow, button. Allow, button.
but we're going to allow
VAL,
that.
welcome, heading. Use the clock tab if you need to get started, back, button.
But
Welcome,
we can go
heading,
back,
alarm
actually, so
permission.
let's read it. So this was alarm permission, and I kind of moved through it a bit quicker.
Alarm permission
Sorry
is only
about
needed if
that.
you want system alarms or linked alarms synced to quiet hours and schedules. You'll be asked for access when you tap continue.
So this is something that is available with iOS 26. Apple added the ability for third-party apps to have alarm support, and that's what's being used here in
System
VAL.
alarm features require iOS 26 or later. On older versions of iOS, the alarm tab and related features stay hidden, and upgrading to iOS 26 or later will unlock them automatically. If you revoke alarm access later, the in-app button that you used to request it will instead take you straight to alarm settings. Continue, button. Welcome, heading.
Okay, so we've already approved it, so that should be good. Now we have the next section. So note what it said there, though. For alarms, you do need to be on iOS 26. Now, the app will work fine on devices that are not running 26, but you will not have access to the alarms feature. And just the way things are, it's an iOS 26 feature. And I can confirm, though, that VAL does work great with iOS 18, for example, because I'm actively using it on an iPhone
Getting
XR
around.
as well. Okay, now we have this
Use the
tip for
clock tab
getting
to preview
around.
recent and upcoming announcements, the alarms tab for system alarms, settings for announcements, quiet hours, viewing and managing clocks, sharing, and help. The schedules tab allows for further customization. If you need a reminder later, the help screen in settings explains how the app works and includes a quick tip regarding notifications and permissions. Get started, button.
And here we are, we're done. So let's say get started.
VAL, heading.
And we're now
Current
in
time,
VAL.
10:06 p.m.
And we see the current time is 10:06.
Next
If I
announcement,
go to the right,
10:30 p.m.
next announcement will
Speak
be at
time now,
10:30.
Double tap here or magic tap anywhere to hear
But
the current time.
we can press the Speak Time Now button,
10:07 p.m.
and there's the time. Now, as the hint also advised us, if we magic tap,
10:07 p.m.
perfect, we get the time. So next we come to a tab bar, and there are four
Tab bar,
tabs.
selected, clock, tab, 1 of 4. Schedules,
clock tab,
2 of 4. Alarms, tab,
schedules,
3 of 4. Settings, tab,
alarms,
4 of 4.
and settings. So in the onboarding, it did mention that you can go into settings, notifications, VAL, and then disable lock screen, notification center, and banners. So I do recommend making those adjustments, just as was mentioned during the onboarding. Now, I haven't made those changes yet on this device, but it's very straightforward to do that. Okay, let's go into settings. When we're in the onboarding, we're asked about choosing our clock option and intervals. So I'll show you how you can adjust that. And there are a few
Settings,
ways
tab,
here.
4 of 4.
So let's go into settings.
Announcements, main interval,
Okay.
every 30 minutes. Currently using announcement mail, button.
So the first option we have is the announcement settings. Let's
Enable
go in
announcements,
here.
switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
This is where we can quickly turn announcements on
Announcement
and
clock,
off.
announcement mail, button.
And here's the option to change which clock we're using. So right now we're on the mail. If I go ahead and double tap
heading.
this, we have our full list of clocks, and each clock is a heading. So if we know that we want one of the chiming clocks, for example, maybe we'd like to use one of the included Westminsters, like Westminster Colonial. If I move by heading, I have a gesture set for this, but you can use your rotor.
Heading.
Or on the W heading.
Westminster
If I
Colonial,
swipe right,
bundled, method 11, traditional chime, analyzed, button. Double tap to
there
select.
is Westminster Colonial. Now, I'll briefly talk about these method numbers later on, but I'm not going to go too in-depth into it here. Essentially, there are 13 methods, and the first 10 are the ones that were originally made for Steve's talking clock on Windows, and that adds the compatibility here for those clocks. And then 11, 12, and 13 are unique to VAL and are mostly for chiming
Westminster
clocks.
Colonial, bundled, method 11, traditional chime, analyzed, button. Double tap to
So
select.
here's
Two-finger double tap to
Westminster
preview.
Colonial. And again, just like on the onboarding, we can preview this with a magic tab. And stop it. I do like that one. So if we wanted to use that, we could go ahead and
Selected.
double
Westminster
tap.
Colonial. Bundled. Method 11. Traditional chime. Analyzed.
And it's selected. I'm actually going to set this back, though, to
W,
announcement
S,
mail.
Hey, heading. Announcement clock. Heading. Announcement female. Announcement male. Bundled. Method selected. Announcement male.
And there we are. We're back.
10:11 p.m.
We're back to announcement mail. Okay, so I'm now going to back out of the screen, and I think we've seen everything.
Rows 3 to 9 of Whittington Slide Mantle. Bundled. Currently selected for announcements. Announcement mail. Heading.
But it does confirm at the bottom
Announcement mail. Button.
that announcement mail is
Main
selected.
interval. Every 30 minutes. Pick a item. Adjustable. 2 of 3. Swipe up or down.
And here we have it set on every 30 minutes. This is also something we did in the onboarding, but if we want to change it to
1 of 3. Every 30 minutes.
15,
2 of 3. Every hour. 3
every
of 3.
30, or every hour,
Every
we
30
can do
minutes.
that here.
2 of 3.
Now, as this is a talking clock, I like it on every 30, so we'll leave it there. But there's actually something we can do if we know that we have a preference for different
Clock
types of
intervals.
clocks.
Off. Button.
And it is clock type intervals. So let's go ahead and
Allow
go
clock
in
types
here.
to use their own intervals. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Allow clock types to use their
When
own
enabled,
intervals.
the selected clock uses the interval chosen for its clock type. Schedules can also have their own intervals.
So each clock type can have its own
Allow clock types to
interval
use their
set.
own intervals. Switch button. Off.
So let's turn this on. And
When
what we're
enabled,
going to
the selected
have
clock types. Heading.
is a section for each clock type. Now these are listed by the name
Method
of the
1,
type.
simple.
So method 1 simple, this is a talking
Every 30
clock
minutes.
option.
Pick a item. Adjustable. 2 of 3.
And it's set for every 30 right now,
Method
which is
2,
what
traditional.
I'd like. Method 2, traditional, another talking
Every 30
clock
minutes. Pick a
format.
item. Adjustable. 2 of 3. Swipe up or down.
Every 30
Method
is
3,
good
digits
for me
only.
there.
Every 30 minutes. Pick a
Same
item.
for this
Method
one.
4, really huge. Every 30 minutes.
Same for
pick a
this
item.
one.
Adjust. Method 5, more natural. Every 30 minutes. Pick a item. Adjustable. Method 6, Big Ben.
Method 6, Big Ben. This is a chiming method, and this is the method that was available in Steve's
Every 30
talking
minutes.
clock.
Pick a item. Adjustable. 2 of 3. Swipe up or
And
down with one finger
in
to
this
adjust the value.
case, my preference for
Every
chiming
15
clocks
minutes. 1 of
is
3.
every 15. So I've gone ahead and selected
Method 7,
that.
cuckoo. Every hour.
And these just have hourly settings, so
Method
on
8,
the hour is
hourly.
what you
Every
get.
hour. Method 9, not so traditional. Every 30 minutes. Pick a item. Adjustable. 2 of 3. Swipe up or
That's
down with
also
one.
a
Method
talking
10, Danish.
method. And this is also
Every
a
30
talking
minutes.
method,
Pick a
so
item. Adjustable. 2 of 3. Swipe up or down with one finger.
that works for me for these to be 30 minutes. But here we're going to customize 11,
Method
12,
11,
and 13.
traditional chime. Analyzed.
So, method 11, traditional chime analyzed. We will take a look at what this means when we get to importing some
Every 30
custom
minutes.
content.
Pick a item. Adjustable. 2 of 3.
But for
Every
this,
15 minutes. 1 of 3.
I want every 15.
Method 11, strike only.
Now, if a clock is strike only, which in the case of the gingerbread, for example, that one is
Use
strike
method 11
only.
default. Every 15 minutes. Pick a item. Adjustable. 1 of 4.
I'm
Swipe
going
up
to
or down every
change
15 minutes.
this
2 of 4. Every 30
to
minutes.
every
3 of
30.
4.
Because for a striking clock, that's typically how they operate, and that's what I'm used to. So we're going to
Method
have
12,
that every
traditional
30.
chime. Pre-edited.
And we'll do
Every
the
30
same
minutes.
thing
Every 15
here.
minutes. 1 of 3. Method 12,
Every
strike only.
15.
Use method 12 default. Every 15 minutes. Pick a item. Every 15 minutes. 2 of 4. Every 30 minutes. 3 of 4.
And set
Method
this
13,
to every
signature
30.
quarter.
And for
Every 30 minutes.
signature
Pick a
quarter,
item. Every 15 minutes. 1 of 3.
every
Control applies to
15
every
for
clock
this
that
one.
uses that type. Traditional chime clocks that only play strikes, no melody, use the separate strike-only clocks row, which can inherit from method 11 or use its own interval.
And there is the little explanation for that. Okay, so we've set our options. Let's back out of here.
Enable announcements. Switch button. On. Announce. Main int. Every 30 minutes. Clock type intervals take precedence over this setting while turned on.
So since we have clock type intervals on, that
Clock
takes
type intervals
precedence
on
here.
button. Clock type interval for method 4, really huge, every 30 minutes.
And it says here that for method 4,
Time
it's every
voice,
30.
use announcement clock, announcement mail, button.
And here is the option where we can change what voice is used when we get the time. So by default, this will follow the clock you've set for announcements. But let's say we want the announcements to go off with the male voice, but we'd like to hear the time spoken when we request it with the female.
Selected.
Let's go
Use
ahead and
announcement
go in
clock,
here.
announcement mail, button. Double tap to select.
We
Two
can
finger double tap to
see
preview.
that's set to use
head,
default,
selected. Use announcement clock, announcement mail, button. A, heading.
but we can
Announcement
also
female,
select
bundled,
our own.
method selected. Announcement female, bundled, method 4, really huge.
So there we go. That is now
Announcement
set to
I,
the female.
Ingraham gingerbread, bundled, method 12, traditional chime, pre-edited, button. Double tap to select. Two finger double tap to preview. Clock type intervals, on, button. Clock type interval for method 4, really huge, time voice, announcement female, button.
As confirmed when we back out, that we're looking at the time voice has been set. When we back out there, it's confirmed that the time voice
Custom
is
quarters,
set to the
off,
female.
button.
Now, I'm not going to get into this, but this is also something neat you can do, custom quarters. So if you'd like each quarter to have its own sound, to use its own voice,
For the cleanest
you could do
experience,
that.
turn off lock screen, banners, and chiming clock settings, heading.
Now we have some options for chiming clocks. I recommend leaving these on their default settings, but
When chimes are
what
longer
they
than
are,
notifications allow.
these are used if if the chimes are longer. So iOS, unfortunately, has a limit of 30 seconds for notification sounds. So to make these work, we kind of need to split the chimes up a little bit and do some fading so that the whole chime can be heard, or at least most of it. So the
Strikes.
options we have here
Fade out.
for
Picker item,
strikes,
adjustable. 2 of 4. Audio gently
Fade
fades out when it
out.
reaches the limit. Anything. Quarters. Audio gently fades out when it reaches the limit. Anything beyond that point is skipped. Quarters. Fade out.
And
Picker
quarters,
item, adjustable. 2 of 4.
same for
Swipe
that.
up or quarters.
So the
Audio, fade
options
out.
we have,
Picker item, fade or continue. 1 of 4.
we have fade
Slightly
or
long audio fades
continue,
out. Much longer audio uses extra notifications to finish playing. Fade or continue. Fade out. 2. Audio gently fades out when it reaches the limit. Anything. Fade out. Picker item. Continue playing. As many notifications as needed are used to play the full audio. Nothing is cut off.
So that's the option if you want to make sure nothing gets cut off, but you might get multiple notifications
Continue
so
playing.
it can
Continue.
finish.
Then fade. 4. As many notifications as needed are used until the audio is almost finished. Then the final portion fades out gently. Continue. Then fade. Picker item. Continue. Fade out. 2
So
of 4.
Fade out, I think for most, is going to be the best
Audio gently
option
fades out when
here.
it reaches the limit. Anything beyond that point is skipped. Quarters. Fade out. Picker item. Adjustable. 2 of 4.
And the
Swipe up or
same
down with one finger to adjust.
options
Audio gently
apply
fades out
for
when it reaches the limit.
quarters.
Tab bar. Clock. Clock.
And so that's the announcement settings. So
hours,
next,
off,
we
button.
have quiet hours, and there's some really neat features here. So let's go ahead
Enable
and take
quiet
a
hours.
look at
Switch
this.
button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
First, we have a toggle to turn quiet hours on and
On.
off. So let's turn them on.
Quiet hours mute scheduled announcements during the selected time window. From heading.
So we want to set our time that we want quiet hours to be
Fixed
active.
time.
So
Picker item.
from,
Adjustable. 1 of 3. Swipe up or down with one finger
and
to adjust
our
the value.
options, we can do a fixed
Sunrise. 2
time.
of. Alert. Allow VAL to use a
Sunrise.
location.
Okay, we are going to get a location
Allow one.
permission, so I'll
Allow
allow
while
it.
using app. Button. Alert. Allow
And-
VAL your location. Keep solar-based schedules and quiet hours accurate as you move. Keep only while using. But change to always allow. But
And
VAL.
we'll just allow it
Quiet hours mute
always.
scheduled announcements during the sunrise. Picker item. From heading. Sunrise. Picker item. Adjustable. 2 of 3. Swipe up or down with one. Sunset.
And we'll say
3 of 3.
sunset. And sunset. So you have sunrise, sunset. Actually, what I'm going to do for this
Sunrise.
is
Fixed
I
time.
will
1 of
say,
3. Time picker.
fixed
10
time.
p.m. Button. Collapsed. Double tap to expand.
and I'll set this to
10 o'clock.
midnight.
Picker item. 11 of 12 o'clock. 00 a.m. Dismiss pop-up. Button. Settings. Back button.
So we've made
Fixed
our
time,
time
picker,
adjustment.
12 a.m. Until. Heading. Fixed time. Picker item. Adjustable. 1 of 3. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
And until
Time
Let's
picker,
do
7 a.m.
sunrise.
Button, fixed time, picker item, adjustable, sunrise, 2 of 3. At sunrise, picker item, at sunrise. Tomorrow, 5:45 a.m.
And so our sunrise tomorrow here is
If sunrise can't be determined.
5:45. Now, for a fallback, if it can't
This can happen
determine
in extreme polar regions
sunrise,
where sunrise may not occur for days or weeks, or if the device can't determine your location. Use fixed time, picker item, adjustable, 1 of 3. Swipe up or down with one finger
we
to
can do
adjust
a
the value.
fixed time
Fallback
as a
time.
backup.
Time picker, 7 a.m. Button, collapsed. Double tap
And
to
so
expand.
we'll leave it on 7 a.m. for that.
Set
That
alarm for
sounds
when quiet hours
reasonable.
end. Switch button, off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Now, you can set an alarm for quiet hours, so when they end, it will be an alarm will go off. So this could be useful if you decide to make your quiet hours end time the time that you want to get up in the morning. And so then you'll automatically get an alarm that is linked with that. I'm going to leave
Follows
that
the quiet
off
hours
for
end time
now,
of sunrise.
and it says that. So if we were to do this right now, an alarm would go
Tab
off
bar,
at
clock,
sunrise.
tap, follows the quiet hours end time of sunrise.
So let's go ahead and
Announcements,
get out
currently
of
using
here.
announcement, quiet hours, 12 a.m. to sunrise, button. View and manage clocks, button.
View and manage clocks.
Time
I'll come
format,
back
12
to.
hour time, button.
Here we have 12 and 24
Follow
hour
system time
time.
format, switch button, off. Double tap to toggle setting.
So it can follow system
24-hour time, switch button, off. Double tap to toggle setting.
or we can manually turn on 24 hour. So if I magic tap right now to get the time,
10:23 p.m.
you're hearing that it's in 12 hour.
On.
But let's turn this on.
22:23
Off.
There you go. So you can get 24-hour time if you
Time
desire
format,
that.
12-hour time, button.
I like 12 hours, so we'll leave it there.
Alarms, default snooze 9 minutes, quiet hours ending alarm off, more settings available, button.
Okay, next we have alarm settings. So we
Alarms,
will look at
default
alarms
snooze 9
now,
minutes, quiet hours ending alarm off, more settings available, button.
and let's go in
Defaults,
here.
heading.
So here are the options that will be defaults for when we
Default
use
snooze
an
duration,
alarm.
9 minutes, button.
You can set your snooze duration. I really
minute,
like
button.
this. And it can
15
be
minutes,
from 1
20
minute
30 minutes,
to
button.
30 minutes. Default is 9. I like mine a little bit on the
5 minutes,
shorter
button.
side. So we're going to do 5.
Default snooze duration, 5 minutes, button.
So that's good.
Default alarm
5
clock,
minutes.
current clock, announcement mail, 1 alarm sound, button.
So clocks can come with an alarm sound, and the 2 talking clocks do come with one. Now they're actually both the same sound, but it's here. So if we
Only
go
show
in
clocks
here,
with alarm sounds, switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
it's set to only show clocks with alarm
Selected,
sounds.
default clock, announcement mail, middle dot, 1 alarm sound, 1 alarm sound, button. 2-finger double tap to preview the alarm sound. Double tap to choose this clock.
And so this would follow your default alarm sound, or you can
Hey,
pick
heading,
which
announcement
clock.
female, 1 alarm, announcement male, 1 alarm sound, button. 2-finger double tap
So
to preview.
I'm actually going to pick announcement male,
Defaults, announcement male, 1 alarm sound, selected.
and that way it will always use that no matter what
Default
my
snooze
default
duration,
clock is.
5 minutes. Default alarm clock, announcement male, 1 alarm sound, button. Quiet hours alarm, heading. Default
Now,
alarm
if we go
clock,
back in
only show
here,
clocks with alarm sounds, switch button, on.
I do want to let you hear the
clock,
default
hey,
sound.
heading, announcement, selected, announcement male, 1 alarm sound, 1 alarm sound, button.
So let's preview it, and I think this will be recognizable for everybody. That is the alarm that is included, and I love it. It gets me right up in the mornings. Such an iconic alarm clock, in my opinion. I've heard so many of those.
Default alarm clock, announcement male, 1 alarm sound, button. Quiet hours alarm, heading. Set alarm for when quiet hours end, switch button, off.
And again, we have the option for alarm for quiet
Follows
hours
the quiet
when
hours
they
end time
end.
of sunrise.
And so that would again
Alarm
be a
skipping
sunrise
behavior,
alarm.
heading.
Now we have alarm skipping behavior. This is another feature I really like. So sometimes I think this happens to everyone. You wake up and you realize, well, there's no point in going back to sleep. I'm supposed to get up in an hour anyway, or half an hour. I might as well just get up. So what this will allow you to do is when you open VAL, it will ask you if you'd like to skip the alarm, because It can sense
Offers
that
to
you're
skip
awake.
upcoming alarms. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
So this is
When
on
enabled,
by
you'll be
default.
asked whether to skip an upcoming alarm if you open the app shortly before it goes off. Prompt window. Heading. 30 minutes. Picker item. Adjustable. 6 of 12. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
You can have this up to 60 minutes if you want. Or
20, 20, 15, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 of 12,
as
10 minutes, 15,
5
20, 20,
minutes.
30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes, 45, 15, 50, 60 minutes, 60 minutes, 12 of 12.
So I like this on 60 minutes because sometimes that happens where I get up like a whole hour before the alarm.
This is how long the app will wait before prompting you to skip the alarm. Only ask once per upcoming alarm. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
And you can have it only prompt
When enabled,
once
the
per
skip prompt
alarm.
will only appear once for each alarm occurrence, even if you reopen the app. Show skip button in clock tab. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
And you can have a skip button
When enabled,
in
a
the
skip button
tab.
appears on the clock tab when you're within the prompt window of an upcoming alarm. If you're already awake before an alarm, you can skip it just this once. The alarm resumes normally for the next occurrence.
And that's the important note. So that alarm would go off again the next day. So if you skip it
Tab
one day,
bar,
that's
clock,
fine.
Tab. Heading not found. Alarms.
Okay.
Default snooze 5 minutes. Quiet hours ending alarm off. More settings available. Button. Defaults.
Oh, it looks like that's
prompt,
everything.
60 minutes. Pick. This is how long the only ask once per. When enabled, this show skip button. When enabled, if you're all tab bar clock. 60 minutes. Pick a right. Pay default alarm clock.
Okay, that's everything for alarms. So let's just go to the alarms tab to look at how we
Alarms.
set
Default
an
snooze.
alarm. And then we'll jump in to the real customizable parts of the app and look at loading our own chimes and talking clocks in. So let's go to the alarms
Tab
tab.
bar. Schedules. Tab. 2 alarms. Tab.
Okay, we are on the alarms tab.
Heading. Add alarm. Button.
And right there we have add alarm. Or if we want to adjust
No
the
alarms
settings
set.
for alarms,
Alarm settings. Button.
we do have an alarm settings shortcut right there that will take you to the alarms
No
page
alarm.
that
Add
we're
alarm.
looking at.
Button.
But let's go ahead and add an alarm.
New alarm. Save. But time. Heading. Alarm time. 10 o'clock. Picker item. Adjustable. 10 of 12.
And let's set
9
one
o'clock. 28
for
minutes. Picker item. 20, 30 minutes. 31 of 60. PM. Picker item,
9:30
PM. AM. 1 of 2. Label. Heading.
AM.
Alarm label. Text field. Double tap to edit. Sound.
And we can give this
Heading.
a
Use
name.
default clock. Announcement mail. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
Use our
Alarm sound.
default
Classic
alarm.
beep. 1 alarm sound. Double tap to select.
And classic beep is the name of the included
Snooze.
alarm
Heading.
file.
Enable snooze. Switch button. On. Snooze duration. 5 minutes. Button.
And here it's using our default
Repeat.
5-minute
Heading.
snooze. And here we can specify if we want
Monday,
the alarm to
Tuesday,
repeat.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Prevent expiration. Switch button. When enabled, the alarm will remain in your list but turned off, mirroring default iOS behavior.
So by default, this is
Prevent
off.
expiration. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
And so what will happen is when you stop your alarm after it goes off, it will be deleted from your list of alarms. So it won't clutter up with a whole bunch of alarms like iOS does. Now, if you'd like it to stay,
Sunday.
you can just
Prevent
turn this
expiration.
on.
Switch button.
10:30
Off.
p.m.
Double tap to toggle setting.
Okay, let's
Save.
save this alarm.
Alarms. Heading. Add alarm. 9:30 a.m. once. Switch button. On. Double tap to off.
And there it is. Turn
On.
it off. On. Now, of course, when this goes off tomorrow morning at 9:30 and I turn it off, this will be gone from the list. But I actually
Edit.
don't want this
Delete.
alarm. So we're going to
Alert.
delete it.
Delete alarm. The alarm you have set for 9:30 a.m. will be permanently removed. This cannot be undone. Cancel. Button. Delete. Button.
And we'll go ahead and say delete.
No alarms set.
And now we have no alarms set. So, good.
Tab bar. Settings. Tab. 4 of 4.
Let's go back to the settings
Selected.
tab
Settings. Tab. 4 of 4.
and
Selected. Settings.
take a look.
Button. View and manage
At-
clocks. Button.
View and manage clocks. So we did not do anything with this yet. So if we
Hey,
go in
heading.
here,
Announcement female. Bundled. Method 4. Really huge. Button. Double tap to set as default
we have a
announcement.
list of all of our clocks. Now, here is another way that we could change the clock used for announcements. So, as
Select
the hint was
announcement
going to
female.
tell
Bundled.
us,
Method 4. Really huge. Button. Double tap to set as default announcement clock. 2-finger double tap to preview. Swipe up or down for more actions.
we can double tap to
Selected.
select it,
Announcement clock change to announcement female.
and now it's using that for
Announcement
announcements.
Heading. Ingraham gingerbread. Bundled. Method selected. Announcement clock change to Ingraham gingerbread. S. Selected. Ingraham gingerbread. Bundled. Method 12. Traditional chime. Pre-edited. Button. S. Heading.
So you're seeing that the clock is
Announcement
changing
mail.
when we're doing
Method
that.
4. Really huge. Button. Double tap to set
I'll
as
set this
default
back to
announcement selected.
announcement mail
Announcement clock
for
changed
now.
to announcement mail.
And we're getting the feedback. So that's a list of clocks. Cool. We had that in announcement settings, though.
S. Head W. Heading.
Let's
Heading not
see what
found.
else we
Westminster
have.
Colonial. Westminster Hamilton Mantle. Bundled. Westminster Sly Mantle. Whittington Sly Mantle. Clocks are shown in alphabetical order. Import clock. Imports a clock from files or your computer.
Now here is where we're getting into the fun stuff and what truly makes VAL so versatile and, like I've said earlier, the ultimate clock app. We'll go ahead and
Import clock
import.
alert. How would you like to proceed? Import the clock from files or start a temporary upload server for your computer. Choose files button. Use computer button.
So we have
Choose
two
files,
options
button.
here.
Use computer
Choose
button.
files and use computer. So choose files, of course, that's pretty self-explanatory, that when you select that, the Files app will launch and you can pick a zip file to go ahead and import into VAL. Now, the use computer, though, is interesting, and some other media apps have used this in the past, where it will create an upload server that you'll put the IP address into your default web browser on your computer, and you can upload packs that way. So if you don't want to upload things to the cloud first, that's a way that you can get them right from your computer into VAL on your phone. Now, in this case, I'm perfectly
Choose
okay
files,
with
button.
choosing files, so let's do
Choose
that.
files.
I'll double tap.
Alert. How many clocks?
And now it's asking us how many clocks we'd like to
Choose
import.
one clock to import it immediately, or select multiple clocks and tap open. One clock button.
So if we just want one clock, that's a little bit quicker.
Multiple clocks button.
Or if we want to select multiple, we can do that as well.
Multiple
In this
clocks
case,
button.
I'm going to do multiple. So let's go ahead and double tap
Multiple
on
clocks.
this. Okay, so I found the folder containing some items that I want to import.
Collins
So
iPhone 15 Pro Westminster Howard Miller triple chime.zip zip archive file.
I have two Westminster packs I want to do here. Westminster Howard
Selected.
Miller triple
Westminster Howard
chime.
Miller
Let's
triple
select
chime.zip
that.
zip Westminster Mantle.zip zip archive file. Selected. Westminster.
And Westminster Mantle. I want to add both of these. Now, if you saw my ChimeKeeper video, these packs should be familiar. Westminster Mantle is the one that's built into ChimeKeeper, and of course, Westminster Howard Miller triple chime is from the Howard Miller mantle clock that I have. So that is
Search.
there.
Search field. Open. Button.
So let's go ahead and open this, and that will import
Open.
these two clocks.
Import. Heading. Cancel. Button.
Okay.
Import. Heading. Import.
Let's just
Button.
review
Source.
this.
Multiple sources. 2 clocks found.
Multiple sources.
30 audio
2
files
clocks
total.
found.
Detected clocks.
30
Headed.
total.
Westminster Mantle.
And
15
detected
audio
Westminster
files. Method
Mantle.
11. Traditional chime. Analyzed.
And that'll be a method 11
Westminster Howard Miller triple
traditional.
chime. 15 audio files. Method 11. Traditional chime. Analyzed.
So, as you might have guessed, this means that this method 11 traditional chime analyzed is the very same method that is used in ChimeKeeper. So if you made something for ChimeKeeper, you can import it here and use it on your iPhone or in the VAL
Each folder
Mac
in the
app
CIP
as well.
will be imported as a separate clock. Each folder in the CIP will be imported as a separate clock.
And it tells us they'll be imported as a separate clock. So let's import.
Button. Import successful. Alert. Clocks imported.
And now we have a message,
Westminster
clocks
Mantle and Westminster
imported.
Howard Miller triple chime were imported. Okay.
And both of
button.
these are here. So let's go ahead and say OK.
Westminster Mantle imported. Method 11. Traditional chime. Analyzed. Button. Double tap to set. Westminster
now
Howard
it's
Miller
in the
triple.
list.
Westminster Hamilton Mantle. Bundled. Method 11. Westminster Howard Miller triple chime. Imported. Westminster Mantle. Imported. Method 11. Traditional chime. Analyzed. Button. Double tap to
And
set
we
as
can
default announcement.
verify that it's here. So let's do a magic tap.
Westminster Howard Miller triple chime. Import.
Well, would you look at that? We have both of these clocks available to
Westminster
us
Mantle.
now.
Imported. Method 11. Traditional chime. Analyzed. Button.
Okay, so I've returned briefly, actually, to the announcement settings.
Announcements. Currently using Westminster. Selected. Enable. Enable.
To just show something that I accidentally skipped over, I think. So,
Every 30. Clock
in
type.
here,
Clock type interval for time voice. Custom quarter. For the cleanest experience. Chiming clock settings. Heading.
in the chiming clock settings, we have
Begin
an
chime melody early.
option
Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
called Begin Chime
Plays the
Melody
so the
Early.
first strike lands on the hour.
And that's so the first strike of the hour will land at the top of the hour. So that's very cool. It'll start playing the chime melody at, say, maybe 11. Say it's midnight. You'll start to hear the chime melody start playing at like 11:59 and 40 seconds or so. And that way, when it gets to the part of the chime where the strike happens, that first strike will be right at midnight. That's a really neat feature, and it works very well.
10:43
Heading not
p.m.
found. Every 30 minutes. Pick. Announcements. Currently using Westminster Colonial. Chiming every 15 minutes. Set by clock type. Button.
So I'm highlighted now back on Westminster Mantle, and I want to cover something that it's important to know about, but it is a little bit more advanced. So what this is, if we
Rename.
swipe
Change
down,
method. Adjust chime split.
we have Adjust Chime Split. Let's
Cancel
go in here.
button.
So this is what you're doing is you're setting where the strike happens so that the audio can be split and send that as a separate notification. And that also ensures that the full chime is used. But it also helps with what we just looked at, begin chime melody early. So you want to make sure that these are accurate so that that first strike does hit at the top of the hour. Now, all of the built-in clocks actually are already customized with correct split points, but this one that we just imported, Westminster Mantle, has not been customized yet. So let's take a look.
14.4 seconds.
So 14.4 seconds is the split
time.
point.
Split time. 14.4 seconds. Adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
And we can adjust that by swiping up and down.
0.5 seconds per step. Adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
We can also set the precision here. So if we want to make it a bit more precise,
0.1 seconds per step.
We can do 0.1 seconds per step.
Precision. 0.1 seconds per step.
So we'll leave it on that one.
Auto-detect. Split time. Split time. 14.4 seconds. Adjustable. Precision. Set where. Preview from split point. Button.
And we can preview this. Now we can use Magic Tap to do this as well.
Stop. Preview from split point. Button. Preview.
So it's not
adjust
quite
individual
right.
hours. Button.
Now we can also adjust individual hours, and this can actually be a helpful thing. So we'll take a look at that after we do a quick adjustment here. So I'm going to start this playing.
Auto-detected split point.
And I'm going to move back up
split
to...
time. Split time. 14.4 seconds. 14.5 seconds. 14.6 seconds. 14.7 seconds.
I think maybe 0.6. So notice now it's right on that first strike. Now there can be some that are a bit more off than this is.
Preview
so let's
from split point. But adjust individual hours. Button.
Some of the hours can be a bit different. So let's take a look at this. And we'll just adjust one of these.
Default,
let's
button.
see.
2-finger double tap to preview 2 o'clock split point.
Yeah. Okay, that does need some adjusting, so let's adjust 2 o'clock.
Heading. Split time. 2 o'clock split time. 14.6 seconds. Adjustable. Swipe. 14.7 seconds. 14.8 seconds. 14.9 seconds. 15.0 seconds. 15.1 seconds. 15.2 seconds.
That sounds better to me.
Precision. Precision. 0.1 seconds per step. Adjustable.
Again, we also have the
Swipe
precision.
Up or down with one finger to adjust the value. Reset to main split.
There. Or we can reset this back to 14.6. But in this case,
split time. 2 o'clock split time. 2 o'clock split time. 15.2 seconds. Adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
I think 15.2 seconds is the better one here.
1
So let's
o'clock.
back
Default.
out.
Button. 2-finger double tap to preview one. Main
And
split point.
back out
Heading.
again.
Auto-detected split point. 14.4 seconds. Preview from split point. Adjust individual hours. 1 customized. Button.
And it says that we have one customized, which was 2 o'clock. Now, let's go
Apply.
ahead and
Button.
save these.
Adjust chimes. Cancel. Button. Adjust. Apply. Button.
So apply.
100% complete. Charlie NET5. 3 of 3 Wi-Fi bars. Selected.
Okay. And there we go. That has been completed. Now, if this is find this a bit intimidating, you're probably wondering if someone already made splits and sent me a clock pack, could I import them with those splits? And the answer is yes. So if I were to
Westminster
again
Colonial
swipe
Extended
down
Bundle. Westminster Hamilton Westminster Howard Miller Triple. Westminster Mantle.
on
Imported. Method 11. Traditional. Rename.
this
Change.
one,
Adjust chimes. Adjust fading. Export.
we can export it. And exporting it would make all of the splits that we make available. So it would make it work a lot better. So that is there. And so don't worry, if you find this a little bit difficult, you can use packs from others that have the splits already customized, and then you don't have to worry about it. But if you do need to do it yourself, that's how it's done. And it is simple once you get the hang of it and play around with it a bit. And you can also look at the default clock. So we'll just take a look at
Howard
one.
Triple. Westminster Mantle. Westminster Slide
How
Mantle.
about
Whittington Slide Mantle. Westminster Hamilton. Westminster Colonial. Westminster Hamilton Mantle. Rename. Change
Hamilton
method. Adjust
Mantle?
chime. Adjust fading. Adjust chime split. Adjust chime split. Apply. Button. Main split point. Heading. Split time. Split time. 18.8 seconds. Adjustable. Swipe up or down
So
with one finger to adjust the value.
18.8 seconds is the main
Set where the
time.
melody ends and strikes begin. Preview from split point. Adjust individual hours. Override the split point for specific hour. Adjust individual hours. 11 customized. Button.
And 11 of these are customized. Now, when you play these, by the way, before you customize, it uses the 6 o'clock as a starting place. So you're hearing it
2
from the
o'clock.
6 o'clock.
18.6s. Button. 1 o'clock. 17.7s. 2 o'clock. 18.6s. 3 o'clock. 18.4s. 4 o'clock. 18.7s. 5 o'clock. 17.7s. 6 o'clock. Default. Button. 7 o'clock. 19.8s. 8 o'clock. 19.9s. Button. 2-finger double tap to preview.
And we can preview these.
9 o'clock. 18.1s. Button.
And that gives you an
10
idea
o'clock,
how these
15
should sound.
11 o'clock. 15.11. Adjust individual
But
hours.
if you wanted to
11
adjust
customized.
them or
Button.
play with them,
Override
you
the split.
can.
Reset to auto-detected. Button.
And we could make it auto-detect again, but I'll leave these as these were bundled with very good splits.
Settings. Back button.
So that is importing clocks. Now, there is another type of import and export that we can do that is very
Clocks. Heading.
cool.
View and manage clocks. Button.
Let's go
Time
back
form,
to the
alarms,
settings.
Sharing. Import or export .val files. Button.
And yes, .val files. What are these? You're probably wondering.
Import VAL
Let's
file.
take a
Button.
look. So we can
Export
import a
VAL
val
file.
file.
Button. You can open ZIP clocks
Export.
and .val files from files, the share sheet, or the section.
And there, it tells us a little bit about this, but what a val file is it's basically your whole collection of clocks and settings. So I've made one with what I have on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And actually, I would like to bring all of that content into VAL here on the iPhone 12. Well, guess what? A VAL file will allow us to do that. So let's go ahead and
Export
try
VAL file.
this.
Button.
I'm going to
Import VAL
go
file.
ahead
Button.
and import a VAL
Browse.
file.
Back button. On my iPhone.
And
Heading.
okay, it took us to on my
Tab
iPhone.
bar.
I'm going to
Tab
go to
bar. On my
Recents.
Overcast file. /tab bar. Recents. Tab.
Come on. And I
iPhone 15
believe
Pro Max 20260426-2127.val file uploaded 9:28 p.m. 1.05 gigabytes.
here is the VAL file.
Collins
Let's
iPhone
upload
15
this
Pro
one.
Max
Or download this one,
2026-2127.val
sorry.
file uploaded 9:28 p.m. Down arrow waiting. Collins
Okay,
iPhone
it's
15 Pro
downloading
Max
the VAL file.
2026-0426-2127.val file up.
Now this one has quite a bit in it.
Collins iPhone
Quite a
15
few
Pro Max
clocks
20260426
and other settings.
VAL file uploaded 9:28 p.m. down arrow 461.2 megabytes. Collins iPhone 15 Pro Max 20260426-2127.val file uploaded 9 import in progress. Reading VAL file. Cancel.
Okay,
button.
so it's reading the VAL file. And now we're in the import dialog.
Import VAL file. Import button. Detected in this file. Heading.
So
Collins iPhone
here's
15
what it
Pro Max
found.
2026.
That's just the name of the VAL file. You can change this
Current
when you're
name.
exporting them.
Collins iPhone 15 exported. April 26th, 2026 at 9. Format version. 15. Clocks found. 24.
So
Clocks with
24
additional info.
clocks.
8.
And 8
Alarms
clocks have
found.
additional
2.
info.
Clocks. Heading. Selected to import. 24 of 24.
And currently 24
Choose
clocks
clocks
are
button.
selected. But we could also pick manually. So if we don't want some of these that are here, we can just take them out and not
All
include them.
clocks in
But
this
I
file
want
will be
all of them.
imported. Aberdeen. Bond clock. Glasgow.
So those are some of the
Classic Melodies Rhythm
Bond
CRJ 717. Includes additional info. Cobalt talking clock.
Some of these might sound familiar from Steve's talking
Page
clock.
3 of 5. Page 4
So
of
let's
6.
go to the end of
Selected.
the list.
Westminster Colonial. Button. Selected. Announcement. Whittington say I go dual. Westminster say I go dual chime. Default clocks. Heading. Select.
And here are the default
selected.
clocks.
Westminster slide mantle. Button. Selected. Whittington slide. These clocks are built into the app. Enabling them makes them available in your library on this device. Selected. Select all. Button. Deselect all. Button.
And so we'll
Import these
leave all
items.
selected.
Selected. Announcement settings. Announcements will be on with clock type intervals enabled. No schedules will be configured. Selected. Begin chime melody early. Begin chime melody early will be on. When enabled, the melody plays early so the first strike lands on the hour. Button. Double tap to exclude from import.
And here's the explanation of all that will be
Selected.
imported.
Fading defaults. Global fading. Selected. Quiet hours settings. Quiet hours will be on from 12:01 a.m. to 9 a.m. Selected. Time format settings. Follow system time format will be off. 24-hour time will be off. Selected. Announcement clock. The announcement clock will be Classic Melodies Rhythm CRJ 717. The time voice will be announcement female. But selected. Alarm defaults. Default snooze duration will be 5 minutes. Default alarm clock will be announcement male. The default alarm sound will be classic beep from announcement male. Quiet hours ending alarms will be off. Button. Double tap to exclude from import. Selected. Saved alarms. Detected 2 saved alarms. Weekdays at 9:05 a.m. and Sat at 10:15 a.m. Selected. Clocks in your library. All 24 clocks in the summary. Heading. Everything detected in this file will be imported. Vertical scroll bar. 6 pages. 99%. Import.
So now let's
button.
go top right
Import.
and import.
Importing.
Now we
Heading.
might have some
Preparing
duplicates. Let's see.
Preparing chimes for Hermla Westminster. Preparing chimes for Ingraham Gingerbread. Importing. Preparing chimes for Pentatonic Wind chimes. Preparing chimes for Rock Tower. Importing. Preparing chimes for Westminster Grandfather. Preparing chimes for Westminster Rhythm.
So it's adding
Importing Westminster Seiko dual chime.
all of these.
Preparing chimes for Whittington Seiko dual chime. Cancel button. Duplicate clock.
Now,
Heading. Ingraham
we do have a
Gingerbread already
duplicate.
exists. Choose whether to keep both clocks, replace the existing clock, or delete the imported copy. Actions. Heading.
I will delete
Keep both.
the imported copy.
Replace existing.
Keep
button.
both,
Delete imported
replace
copy.
existing,
Button.
or delete imported copy.
Delete
Let's
imported
delete
copy.
the imported.
Settings. Back button. Sharing.
And
Import
we're
VAL
back.
file. Button.
And I believe everything has been imported. So let's
Announcements.
check.
Currently using Classic Melodies. Quiet hour. View and manage clocks. Button. A. Heading.
And just for fun, I'll give you a preview of some of the other clocks I have in here
Aberdeen.
now.
Imported. Method 12. Traditional chime. Pre-edited. Button. Double tap to set
So
as default
you
announcement.
can add really from different sources, so I've added some from
Announcement
other
female.
clock
Bumble.
apps.
Announcement male.
But-
B. Heading. Bong clock. Imported. Method.
Bong clock, this is a classic from Steve's talking
It's
clock.
10:58 p.m.
C. Heading. Glasgow. Imported. Selected. Classic Melodies Rhythm CRJ 717. Cobalt talking clock. Imported. Cuckoo clock. Colin clock. Imported. Method 4. Release.
I did one of my
The
voice.
time
is 10:58 p.m.
Double talk. Imported.
Of course, there's so many ones that are based on
The time is
synthesizers.
10:59 p.m.
So it's limitless here. And there's even, of course, different clocks I did.
Westminster Hamilton Man. Westminster Howard. Westminster Man. Westminster Rhythm. Imported. Method 11. Traditional chime. Analyzed. Additional info available. Button. Double tap to set as default announcement
And
clock.
this is
Two-finger
a
double tap to
rhythm
preview.
clock
Swipe up or down for more actions.
that might sound familiar.
Westminster
So that's
Echo
a bit
dual
of that
chime
one.
imported method. Westminster Rhythm imported.
And there's my
Westminster
Seiko.
Echo dual chime imported method 11.
So those are both clocks I recorded that I own. Very cool to be able to use those here in VAL. You're seeing here the possibilities of what you can use are endless. It's amazing. I love being able to use all of these on my phone. And I love that ChimeKeeper packs are supported as well. So if you use ChimeKeeper on the Mac and you've made something there that you like, as you see here, you can bring that right here to the iPhone with VAL, and of course the VAL Mac app as
Westminster
well.
slide mantle bundled method 11 traditional view and
So
manage
that
clocks
is a
button.
look at most aspects. Quickly, I do want to show you
Alarms, defaults,
the
use
help.
5, sharing, help, getting started, permissions, and feature explanations button. Getting started,
And
heading.
so
Schedule
there
announcements and
is
use
help.
speech, chiming.
And if we go
Page
to the
2, page 3
bottom,
of page 4, page 5, page 7 of 10, page 8, vertical scroll 80, 94%, 100%. This app is designed, reference, this app, reference, clock methods reference, button.
here is the clock methods reference. So
A
I
wide
won't
variety
read
of
all
clock
this,
types are
of course,
supported,
but
from
let's
spoken time
just take a
announcements to
look.
chiming clocks and beyond. Each clock uses a method, a set of rules that determines how announcements are assembled from the audio files in the clocks folder. This reference explains every supported method, what audio files each one needs, and how they are named. Files are looked up by name, not case sensitive, and can be any common audio format, including WAV, MP3, M4A, AAC, AIFF, FLAC, CAF, and others. Talking clocks, heading.
So you have talking clock methods, and there
These clocks speak the time, it's plus, hour number, plus, minute. If a file is missing, method 1, simple, heading.
so there's a couple
Method
methods
2,
here.
traditional.
Method 1,
Method 3, digits only,
2,
heading. Method 4, really
3,
huge, heading.
4. Now these will be familiar if you use Steve's talking clock on Windows again. So everything, these are all Steve's talking clock methods that
Every
are
minute has
in
its own
this
complete record.
section.
Method 5, more. Method 4, really huge, heading.
So just to get an idea, this will tell you how you can assemble a clock using
Every minute
that
has its own complete
method.
recording, so there is no audio assembly for minutes at all. This requires the most files but guarantees perfect pronunciation. Files needed, it's M, PM, 1, 12 hours, 00, and a file for every minute from 1 to 59. For 24-hour time, add 0, midnight. Method 5, more natural, heading, builds on method 2, traditional, but adds alternate recordings for numbers 1, 12 when they are spoken as minutes rather than hours. This lets you capture the subtle difference in how people say 2 as an hour versus 02 as a minute. Additional files, 1A9A, 10A, 12A, the variants are used for minutes only. Minutes 13 and above use the same syllable system as method 2. Method 9, not so traditional, heading. Method 10, Danish, heading.
So those are all the talking
Chime
methods,
clocks,
and
heading.
we have
Method 6,
chiming.
Big Ben, heading.
So there's a Big
Method
Ben
11,
method.
traditional chime, analyzed, heading. Each hour
I'll
has a
show you
single
this
recording
one.
that contains both the melody and the strikes together. The app automatically finds where the melody ends and the strikes begin, and splits the audio for playback. Files needed, 1, 12, full-hour recordings with melody and strikes, 15, 30, 45, quarter chimes. This is the most convenient chime method if you have recordings from a real clock, since you can use them as is without manual editing. If the automatic analysis doesn't sound right, you can manually adjust the split points. Swipe left on the clock in view and manage clocks and tap adjust chime split, or, with voiceover, focus the clock row and swipe up or down with one finger until you hear adjust chime split, then double tap to activate. You can set a single split that applies to every hour, or override individual hours, with instant preview playback. The pack stays a method 11 clock either way. Custom splits carry over when sharing the clock with others or between devices, and the app offers the option to use them in place of automatic analysis. Method 12, traditional chime, pre-edited, heading.
So that's a bit of an overview there. So
Clock
that
methods
is the
reference,
help
button.
available. Now there is one more tab we haven't looked at yet, and I'm just going to
Clock methods
go
reference,
in there
tab
briefly.
bar, schedules, tab, 2 of 4. Accessibility, heading.
Actually, before I
Help,
do that,
getting, sharing, import, help, getting started, permission, toss some coins in the tip jar, button.
I will just say there's a tip jar here, so if this app brings you joy, as it has for me, you can go ahead and support Quinton with a tip. So after you purchase the app, if you're finding you love it, you can, as it says, toss some coins into that tip jar.
Toss some coins in the tip jar, button. Version,
Okay,
tab bar, clock, schedules, tab, 2 of 4.
so the area we haven't looked at is schedules. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail here, but this is powerful. You can do schedules based on dates and other routine
Alarms, tab, 3 of
events.
4. No routine schedules yet.
So let's see.
Add routine schedule, button. Overrides,
So the
heading,
routine,
no overrides yet. Add a temporary override for a one-time date
or you
range,
can do
or
by
recurring
date.
override for repeating calendar patterns. Add temporary override, button. Add recurring override, button. How it works, heading. The schedules here take precedence over quiet hours and announcement settings. Temporary overrides take precedence first while they are active. Recurring override patterns come next, and your routine schedules are used last. Linked schedule alarms are optional.
So that is the
Clock,
schedule
tab. 1 of
tab.
4 selected. Clock, tab.
finally, let's just go back to the clock tab. That concludes our look at VAL. I'll switch back to the camera and give a few more comments. Well, there you have it. That is a look at VAL. As you can see, this app is so customizable and provides a lot of options. So really, there's a sound here for everyone. If you like talking clocks, you have it. Chiming, you have that too. Need an alarm app? Well, wow, would you believe it? This does that too. So I love that about VAL, and I think it's something that you all enjoy as well. So VAL is currently available as of the time of this video coming out as a pre-order on the App Store for $3.99, and it will be released on Monday, which is May 4th. So if you go ahead and get your pre-order in, and you will get the app as soon as it becomes available. Now, we focused on the iOS app here, but the Mac app is also fantastic and is included with your purchase of the iOS app and vice versa. So it's universal. You buy it, you get both platforms. Now, I'm very excited to let you all know that Quinton has graciously given me 3 promo codes. So we are going to do a drawing. So you'll have the opportunity to win a free copy of VAL. Up to 3 of you. 3 lucky winners will get a free copy of VAL. So check the video description. There will be a Google form that you can fill out to submit an entry to be entered in to win this. So if you want in, do go ahead and fill that out in the description below. The link's there. And the winner will be announced during a live stream on this channel on May 9th. So we will announce the winner, and then a promo code will be sent to your email address. So that you don't need to be present on the live stream, though we'd love to have you. And we will announce a winner for promo codes for VAL. So I hope you will mark your calendars and join us for that. The time still being determined, but it will be listed on YouTube. I'll update the description of this video with the timing of that, and we'll post it in the community tab on my channel as well. So keep an eye out for that. And again, use that link in the description, and I'll pin it to the comments as well to enter yourself in to win a free copy of VAL. Must be 18 or over, and promo codes will be sent to your email address, so you'll need to provide that on the form. And so hopefully you've seen now how powerful of an app this is, and I am so excited for you to get to try it. I've been testing this for the past month or so, and I love it. So glad. Like, this is the ultimate clock app that does everything I've always wanted, and I know Quinton felt the same way, that wanted something that would do more, and, well, VAL is the result of that. If you'd like to keep up to date with VAL and what Quinton is working on, you can find him on Mastodon. His handle there is Quinton, Quinton, 1110 at tweezcake.social. So do check him out and follow him there to be updated on VAL and potentially other projects that he may be working on. So, all right, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give the video a like. Subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified about upcoming videos. Follow me on Twitter at Gallagher123123. You can also find me on Mastodon at Gallagher123123 at dragonscave.space. Thank you again for watching. We will see you in an upcoming video.